everyone. Happy Monday. Welcome to another Mind Power Monday with Melanie. I hope you're having a great day so far and that you had a really wonderful weekend. Oh, I always forget to do this and I never know if you can hear my volume when my phone or my voice when my phone's on silent. So there you go. Anyhow, welcome to another Mind Power Monday. I'm Melanie Robinson and I'm a real estate investor just like the rest of you, going through the trenches and learning and growing right alongside you. I've done several different strategies over the years, from flips, BRRRRs, bought foreclosures, done some new builds, long-term buy and holds. Good morning, Cameron. And all sorts of different things. Right now, my sole focus, or I shouldn't say my sole focus, but my main focus is on long-term buy and holds with joint venture partners. So that's really what I want to accomplish in the next couple of years, is to really build my portfolio with joint venture partners. So that's me as a real estate investor. Good morning, Denise. Why am I a Melanie real estate investor doing these Mind Power Mondays with you? My background is in corporate training, coaching, and consulting, doing leadership training, communications, skills training, those sorts of things. We have a family business. My mom is actually a trainer of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. So we have spent the last 20 years helping business people achieve that next level of success. So we worked in corporations and we also worked with individuals, helping them overcome the mental side of creating success. So not necessarily the skills and tools that they required in whatever industry they're in, but on communication skills, how to see things differently, how to think differently, focus your attention, all those sorts of things. So that's my background, and I am really super passionate about sharing that with other people. You're probably getting the theme over this time together that I also am really super passionate. Good morning, Kathy, Yuka, Loverly. So nice to see you all this morning. You're probably getting the sense that one of the really important pieces of that equation for me personally is helping you all enjoy the process too. So not just, creating success, but how do you do that in a way that's aligned with your entire life, with your goals, so you can feel good about it, so you can be happy and enjoy your life while you are creating that success, rather than working so hard to create the success now and not enjoying the process. Because as far as I'm concerned, there's no guarantee how long we're going to get here on earth, so we may as well enjoy it as often and as much as we can. So there you have it. That's where Mind Power Mondays come from. Really wanting to help support you. Good morning, Deb. In thinking differently so that you can achieve different results in your life and in your business. So today, the topic that we're going to discuss is how to deal with the no's. Because I know, and this was brought to me from one of you in the group. I'm not sure if she's on here yet, but I know there was quite a little thread going on about that. And I do know it's a really common sort of challenge for us as real estate investors, is that we can face a lot of receive a lot of no's in the process. So the first thing that I really want to share with you is remembering, and all of what I'm going to share is nothing new. It's not like you don't know this. It's not like you haven't heard it before. It's bringing it to your awareness so that you can remember at the times that you need to. So remember that if this were easy, everybody would be doing it. So it is natural to get discouraged when we either get a no or we get a whole bunch of no's in a row. You have to remember that we're doing something that is sort of not what the average person is doing. We are connecting with people. We might get no's from potential partners. We might get no's from, we will get, I should rephrase that. We will get no's from potential partners. We will very likely at some point get no's from lenders. We're looking at land development. We're looking at moving buildings, moving cottages. We're looking at all sorts of different creative things that are outside of the box, that are not your average, normal, everyday things. And so we are going to face no's. And what are we going to do about it? How are we going to deal with it? The first thing that I want you to know is, at least in my opinion, it's okay to feel bummed. Like, this is not about, I don't believe that maybe there are some people, some really amazing people, but I think it's natural. We are human beings. We are emotional human beings who have emotions. That's what happens. And so it's okay to feel bummed. It's okay to get discouraged sometimes. It's okay to feel down. I think if you have the expectation on yourself that you are going to, things are just going to bounce off you and you're going to stay positive and upbeat at every moment, I don't think that's a realistic expectation of yourself. And I think if that's what you're expecting of yourself, you are going to feel even more discouraged and down on yourself, because why aren't you able to just deal with this in a positive, upbeat way? It doesn't matter who you are. I come on here every single Monday doing Mind Power Mondays. I know the power of the mind. I know the power of our thoughts. I know what happens when we're thinking negatively versus when we're thinking positively. And do you think I'm perfect at it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm a human being and I go to the same places that all of you go. The key in all of this is how quickly can you pull yourself out of that? What tools do you have and what motivation do you have to sort of give yourself that time, not be hard on yourself for it, but then have the tools and decide that you're going to use those tools to pull yourself out of that funk. That's the really important piece that I want all of you to recognize. Good morning, Julie. So yes, we're going to get no's. Yes, sometimes we get no after no after no after no, and it can feel really discouraging, and we can find ourselves feeling fairly bummed, fairly down, fairly discouraged. That's okay. Once you've had your little moment, the key is some people are going to live there. Some people are going to stay in that down place and give up and say, see, can't work for me. Nothing works for me. I'm not going to do, I'm not going for this anymore. I'm not meant to have my dreams come true. Things work for other people, but not for me. Whatever that dialogue can be, you know what I'm talking about. That a lot of people do that. So a lot of people get into that mode and they don't climb out. They give up. And I know that none of us here are going to do that. We've got each other. We're going to support each other. We're going to remember the tools that we have. We're going to do Mind Power Mondays, and we're all going to remember together that it's normal to be human. It's normal to have these emotions. It sucks to get no after no after no. Let's face it. We all want these things to happen. And when we get a no, that's a curveball. That doesn't feel great. There's no getting around that. But then, what tools do you have? At some point along that down journey, we have to, we're all familiar with that person. At some point along that journey, we then recognize, no, this is not who I am. I am not a person who sits in my misery forever. I am not going to give up on this. I have dreams. I have desires. I have goals. I am going to do this. And then it's a matter of what tools do I have? What can I do to make myself feel better, to pull myself out? So that's what I really wanted to share with you. And I'm always going to tell you that everything you're experiencing is normal. And I don't want you to look at anyone and think that they're exempt. Thank you for the heart showers. I love those. I'm not exempt. I teach this stuff. I know this stuff. I'm a master practitioner of NLP. I work with clients. I do all sorts of different things. And I get into funks, you guys. But I then, just like you, pull myself out. So what tools do you have? You can think about it differently. You can reframe things in your mind with regards to, so here's a great example. I have this, I wanted to pull this out. You guys all know this, the famous failures. So I don't know, can you see? I can't see what you can see because I'm blocking the camera. But the famous failures. Michael Jordan, Steve Jobs, Oprah Winfrey, Walt Disney, the Beatles, Albert Einstein. How many no's did those people get? How many no's did everybody get? Everybody gets no's. And the difference between the people who achieve what they want and the people who don't achieve what they want is that they push through it. They're resilient and they do what they need to do to push through. Do you think they didn't cry? Have dark days, weeks, months where they felt horrible and discouraged and thought they might give up? Yes, I guarantee you they did. But here's the difference. At some point, they made the decision to do what they needed to do in here, to shift out of that, and to keep going after what they want. And here's the big thing. I mean, there's lots of different things that you can look at, to think differently, but you can't solve your problem while you're in the problem itself. So you want to use different skills and tools to bring your brain basically to a different state so that you can be in solution mode. And I'm sorry, I'm not reading all of your comments, but I will, I promise. So you want to get yourself into a solution, the ability to be solution focused. And that is not going to be while you're sitting in your problem state. So that, I don't care if that's going for a walk, if that's doing meditation, if that's, going for a run, exercising, remembering people, getting inspiration from successful people, connecting with other real estate investors who have gone through some of these challenges that we face, who have come out the other side, who have, things to share with us, their wisdom, their goals, reaching out to a girlfriend, reaching out to a friend, going for a drink. It doesn't matter. What you've got to decide is you're going to pull yourself out of this problem state, because I promise you, laying on the couch, watching movies, Netflix, and eating ice cream is great and healing for a little bit. And then you're not going to come up with a solution if you stay there too long. So you want to pull yourself out in whatever way. Remember these famous people that would have, imagine how they would have felt, and look at where they are now. That gives you the proof that it can happen. And then here is the really important piece that I do talk about most Mondays, but it's a really important piece, I feel, in our ability to overcome the challenges and the obstacles that we face, in our ability to be determined, as Shelley says, determination. I don't think you can see my arms, I'm doing this. And our ability to be resilient and keep going. We talk about our why, we talk about our goals, our dreams, all of that. And I never ever want to minimize, because I think these things are really important. Doing your vision board, writing down your goals, all of those things are really important to get clarity. But here's the piece I want to share with you. And I keep saying on a Monday, I'm going to dive deep into this, and we'll see if I do, but I'm going to share it with you today, because this is what will put you in solution-focused mode. This is what's going to make you feel excited and motivated. This is what's going to get your arse off the couch and get you moving forward towards your goals, coming up with creative ideas, different possibilities. It is connecting with, I'll call it your why, connecting with that emotionally. Do you think that Oprah Winfrey or Walt Disney had to sort of have a vision board of what they wanted to achieve? Maybe they did have that, but I can tell you there was this deep knowing, there was a feeling inside of them that they couldn't let it go. They wanted it so badly. They could taste it, smell it, see it, feel it in every cell of their body. They wanted it that badly. And that can happen for some of us naturally. We just feel that feeling of success. We know we want it and we feel it. But here's the beautiful thing, you guys. We can create that through our mind. So every Monday I talk to you about what we think about releases chemicals to our body, which attaches to our receptor cells, sites on our cells, and creates a feeling. And that feeling sends a message back up to our brain that gets our brain to release more chemicals. That is happening. So when you take the time to connect with your why on that level, not just words on a piece of paper, not just pictures on a vision board. And again, please know I'm not negating any of these things. They're all super powerful. But once you've done all of those things, this is what I want you to do. And I can walk you guys through maybe on a separate little video or something, but I'm sure with what I'm about to share, you're going to be able to do it. Here's the thing. You close your eyes and you imagine a moment in time in the future when you've achieved it. Now you can do this for one goal. If you have a goal of getting one property, or you have the goal of moving a cottage to another piece of property, or you have the goal of, for me, having this fourplex come together in Nanaimo, or you can do it for your big why you're doing this in the first place, that freedom, whether it's travel with family, whether it's, being there for your parents, a loved one, volunteering, freedom, whatever that might be. So here's the deal. You close your eyes, and it's very important that you close your eyes. It's hard for me not to do this as I'm talking to you because I want to walk you through it. I have to do it. So you close your eyes and you imagine that moment in the future when you have arrived. You've done it. You've achieved what you wanted to achieve. And there you are. There will be a moment in time where you look around and you go, oh my goodness, I did it. Look, I did it. And again, with your eyes closed, what you do is you imagine that moment in the future where you have arrived. All of a sudden, you're somewhere on a vacation, sitting with family, on a mission trip. It doesn't matter where you are. And you realize, you look around you and you realize you did it. This is what you were working for. And you actually achieved it. And I want you to look around you in that moment, and I want you to notice every single detail. Where are you? Are you inside or outside? Is it bright or dim? Is there any breeze on your face? If so, is it warm or is it cool? Can you smell anything? Are there sounds? If there are, is it noisy or quiet? Who's with you? Look around. Who's with you in this moment? And you want to bring in all of those details out there in the future, that moment when you realize you did it. And all of a sudden, when you're looking at all of that around you and you just keep bringing in the senses and you're bringing in the senses, all of a sudden you get a feeling. And that feeling, you can feel it in every cell of your body, because the unconscious mind doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. So when you get that clear picture in your mind's eye, when you imagine it, and it might not be easy at first, you can play with it, do it over and over again, but you want to imagine it. And again, look around you, bring in all of your senses. What are you feeling? Is there a breeze? Is it bright or dim? Sounds, smells, tastes, smiles, looks on somebody's face. If you make eye contact, you bring in all of it, and somewhere along bringing in all of those senses, you get a feeling. And that feeling is what motivates you to push through. That feeling is why you're doing everything that you're doing day after day, week after week, when you're tired and exhausted and you don't feel like doing it anymore, when you've received way too many no's and it just feels overwhelming. When you close your eyes and you take that 3 minutes that it might take to really connect with that and sit in it until you feel it, you will feel it. It's the way the brain works. Your brain will release chemicals to your body as though you were there now, and you will feel it now just like it'll feel in the future. And that, to me, is the key to it all. And that's the key to overcoming obstacles. That's the key to, getting up in the morning when you just don't want to. That's the key to face when you're facing no's. That makes the difference. And you do that every single day. You do it before you get out of bed in the morning, especially when you're going through a challenging time. Live in that place. Feel that feeling, and then you open your eyes and you're ready to tackle your day in a new way, from a new place. Not from the problem place, because you can't solve it there. From the solution place, from your why you're doing this. And it's a tool that makes you feel better in the moment as well. Man, oh man, I wish I could read all this. I absolutely will, I promise. But this is the key. So to summarize again, when you're facing a ton of no's or any kind of challenges in the world of real estate investing or not, number one, I want you to know it's okay that you feel bummed. Don't be hard on yourself about that. You're human. You do recognize that you can't live there forever because you've got big goals and dreams that you want to achieve. And you're not going to achieve them by sitting there in that state. So at some point along the way, again, being very kind to yourself, you pick yourself back up. You do what you need to do. You think of the tools that you have, and maybe it's going for a walk, maybe it's chatting with a girlfriend, it's thinking about those famous people who went through lots of no's, reframing it in your mind to think about it differently, knowing everything will work out in the end, everything happens as it's meant to. Whatever you need to do to feel better, you do that, and then you keep connecting with your why. Maybe it's a little why, as in the next sort of goal that you have, and maybe it's your big why, but you connect with that creates a state inside of yourself that allows you to come up with solution. It allows you to remember why you're doing it in the first place. It allows you or pushes you to then have that conversation with the next potential partner. Pick up the phone and call that next lender. Come up with a solution. If you can't, if you can't get a lender in a traditional way, then look at other ways to do it. It gets you into a solution-focused mindset so that you plow forward and you achieve all the things that you're there to achieve. And that's just, a message is coming in. And that is what I wanted to share with you today with regards to facing no's. We do all face them. So does anybody who's successful in anything that they do in life, whether they're a celebrity, whether they're a successful business person. They did not arrive there without dealing with tons and tons of no's, tons and tons of challenges, and the desire so deep that they did what they needed to do to get past it. Be kind to yourself, you guys. We're all human. We don't want to be a person who doesn't have feelings and has no emotion. That's no way to live. So it's okay that you have those emotions. And then you're resilient. You're amazing. You've got this. We've all got this. We're here together. We support each other. We are going to create success together. We're going to use this to create that. And there you go. Sometimes I really feel like I'm on a soapbox, but I really do believe it. I do it myself. I need it myself. I get myself into a funk. I've got to pull myself out. I want this badly. I know you want it badly too. And we're going to find our way. And I just was going to see something that, yeah, 100% Shelley. Thank you for saying that. Sometimes the no's are there to show us. So sometimes it is okay to let things go. So there will come a time where if you get no after no after no after no on the same thing, maybe that's an indication that it's time to look a different way. Maybe that's an indication that this isn't meant to be. So that is one of the things I wanted to say. This isn't about holding on so tight to one thing that you push and push and push and push, and 10 years later, you're still pushing for the same thing. This is being able to be creative in your solution. And yes, absolutely. Sometimes those no's are a sign that it's time to let something go and focus in another direction. And that's a gift as well. So there you have it. I am going to, I'm going to let you all go and enjoy your amazing day, your amazing week. Like I say every week, we're in this together. I'm in this with you. I'm just like you, going through all the same things, looking for money partners, wanting to build my portfolio, learning, getting no's, all those sorts of things. I'm right there with you. So let's do this together, you guys. As always, I will read your comments. Send me messages if there's anything I can do to support you in any way, and have a fabulous week. Alrighty, we'll talk to you later. Bye.